Hi, I'm Janet Loma. I am a professor and chair of sociology and director of the Syracuse University Aging Studies Institute. Today, I'd like to take some time to talk to you about the Aging Studies Institute and some of its initiatives. The Aging Studies Institute at Syracuse University, or ASI as we like to call it, is building on a 50-year tradition of excellence in gerontological research and education. The All-University Gerontology Center was established in 1972 and became the Aging Studies Institute in 2011. Our mission is to promote long and fulfilling lives through research, education, and outreach. ASI provides an intellectual home to over 65 faculty representing 17 departments from 7 schools and colleges. ASI is located in Lyman Hall on the Syracuse University campus on the 3rd floor. This space houses 10 faculty affiliates, 18 graduate students, and has dedicated space for research labs as well as meetings. There are several core interdisciplinary questions that our faculty affiliates are interested in. The interdisciplinary approach that we take at ASI is able to address large-scale scientific questions that go beyond the scope of any given discipline. This shifts our attention from specific disciplinary concerns to the pressing gerontological questions of our time, such as, why do we age? How does aging affect the mind and the body? Can the effects of aging be mitigated? How does social context influence aging and life force development? And how does public policy address the needs of an aging population? The ASI faculty affiliates' research interests fall within 5 specific thematic areas. Those include age-based public policy, population aging, health and functioning, family dynamics, care work and intergenerational support, and more recently, we've been developing expertise in aging design, engineering, and technology. In fact, this picture shows an MFA student in the School of Design interacting with a local older adult from the local Syracuse community with a project that she developed for her MFA coursework. This next slide also shows an MFA faculty member interacting with students in the design studio addressing issues related to age-related design. Now I want to take a minute to talk to you about 3 specific research projects that our faculty affiliates are engaged in. They are good examples of the types of research that we do at ASI. The first is a project that is being pursued by Jennifer Karras Montes, who's an ASI faculty associate and member of the Maxwell School Sociology Department. She focuses on how policies made by state governments shape health conditions, disability, and life expectancy. We know that adults living in certain U.S. states experience poor health and disability 1 or more decades earlier than adults in other states, and in some cases die nearly 5 years earlier in some states than in others. You can see this in the chart that is up on the screen, where these states that are in darker colors have life expectancies that are around 75 to 77 years. The lighter states, in contrast, in these areas, have life expectancies that are closer to 80 to 81 years. These differences across states have become more severe since the early 1990s, and they are most pronounced for adults who have attained relatively low levels of formal education. Professor Montes has an active research agenda that aims to explain these growing differences. Research questions that she's interested in answering include which U.S. state policies have contributed to these trends and growing gaps in U.S. life expectancies, which policies have the greatest potential to improve population health and life expectancy, and how do these policies affect population subgroups. The second project I'd like to mention is by Karen Doherty. Karen Doherty is an ASI faculty affiliate who has an appointment in arts and sciences and communication sciences and disorders. She's interested in age-related hearing loss, and particularly early age-related hearing loss. While we tend to think about hearing loss as an issue that affects older adults, age-related hearing loss actually can start in the 3rd decade of life and progress over time. Hearing loss is the 3rd most prevalent chronic condition among older adults, and approximately 50% of adults who are age 75 and older have some form of hearing loss that could benefit from hearing aid use. However, only 20% of all hearing impaired adults who could benefit from a hearing aid actually use them. This is due in part to the high cost of hearing aids, which can be from $1,600 to $2,800 each. And most people have to pay for these out of pocket, given that these costs are not covered by private health insurance plans or Medicare. The low rate of hearing aid use is problematic because hearing aid impairment is associated with social isolation, depression, and more rapid age-related cognitive. Professor Doherty has been testing the efficacy of hearing aids in her lab. She has found that early detection and intervention are important not only for older adults with severe hearing loss, but also middle-aged adults with mild hearing loss. In addition, in collaboration with other colleagues at SU, she's developed the Practical Hearing Aid Skills Test, as well as an associated app that you can use on your phone that objectively measures how well hearing aid users can correctly use and care. The third project I'd like to mention is by Faculty Associate Meryl Silverstein, who is the Cantor Professor of Aging and is jointly appointed in Human Development and Family Sciences and Sociology. He's the principal investigator of the longitudinal study of generations. This study was initiated in 1971 and began as a survey of 300 three-generation families in California. There were grandparents in their 60s, middle-aged parents in their 30s and 40s, and grandchildren in their teens and early 20s. This study has continued over the past 50 years, and Meryl has been involved in it for quite a while now. It now includes fourth and fifth generations who are the great-grandchildren and great-great-grandchildren of the original grandparents who were in the original survey. The LSOG allows for comparisons of sets of aging parents and their children at the same stage of life, but during different historical periods. These comparisons make possible the investigation of how social change is impacting family life in America. It also is enabling researchers to understand the role of families in buffering stressful life events, as well as the transmission of values, resources, and behaviors across generations. The LSOG is a widely used resource in gerontology and is a wonderful contribution that Meryl has made to this area. In terms of ASI priorities, we have four main priority areas that we try to focus on. First is maintaining a strong portfolio of research. We offer pilot seed grants to support the early development of projects that can go on to be used as a stepping stone for seeking additional funding for research. We provide faculty with research assistants and support postdoctoral fellows. We're also involved in growing undergraduate and graduate programs. There is an undergraduate minor in gerontology that is offered through Human Development and Family Sciences in Falk, as well as a graduate level Certificate of Advanced Study in Population Health and Aging that's offered through the Maxwell School's Sociology Department. We're involved in helping organize those programs and promote them, as well as developing curriculum. We also support students' professional socialization as well as their research. Our third priority area is encouraging interdisciplinary understanding. Every year we have an ongoing seminar series where faculty associates as well as external speakers present their work. We organize thematic one-day symposia and host visiting scholars. And this is a picture of visiting scholars. And then finally, we are expanding our outreach efforts. A few years ago, we started the Movement for Healthy Aging, which is a dance-based exercise program that was delivered to older adults in the Syracuse community. We also have a successful series of gerontology education workshops, which we are expanding to include grant writing opportunities for our faculty affiliates, as well as policy and research groups. So in conclusion, the Syracuse University Aging Studies Institute aims to promote long and fulfilling lives through research, education, and outreach. You can learn more about ASI and our programs on our website at asi.syl.edu.